I did an ad with Shah Rukh, and he told me that for Chalte Chalte they were looking for me, and I was like, oh my god, don't say this to me, don't tell me this right now. If I can tweet about it, and if I can get some authorities to see what the staff is doing, it's probably a good thing. I'm not saying the entire airline is like that. Likha kuch hota tha, and what he could make of it would be completely different, you know. I mean, if you want to do unpredictable, you have to see Irfan's work. I'm very aware that I've done very little work as compared to a lot of people, a lot of actors, but the fact that kahin na kahin the audiences haven't forgotten me.
This is Samina Sheikh here, and with me today I have the very gorgeous, the stunning Chitrangda Singh, who I adore a lot. Of course, not only for her work, but also because of her enigmatic personality. Welcoming her on ETimes.
Thanks, Samina. Thank you for the introduction.
You look gorgeous, I must say that. You really look very pretty.
आज मैंने खुद makeup किया है.
Do you somewhere feel like, it's working much better for you somewhere?
No, but I don't know. I hope so. I really hope so. I wasn't sure.
So to begin with you, Chitrangda, love has come back to your life, and in terms of modern love. So tell us something about your journey while working on this one.
Oh, it was such a quick one. It's such a cute and a quick one that happened. We shot over 9 or 10 days, something like that. And something like that. And it's just like we just breezed through it. It was it was very hectic because you like, it's a short film, the budgets are constrained. We were shooting almost 5 minutes a day, which is a lot. A lot of filming to be done. So it was very hectic. Everything was shot in town, of course, and we started very early. Plus the hair that we decided, curly hair and that look, my God, that used to take an hour of just curling every single strand, because we didn't want it to look like keep up, especially bal, like it wasn't a hairstyle. It's like you're born with hair like that, So it really had to be done absolutely. So it was hectic, but a lot of fun. It was just, I really enjoyed being Latika. I didn't even feel it, how hard we worked. So it was great.
But at the same time also, Chitrangda, the way things have been, in terms of your work, I must say that, your journey has been quite different as compared to other actresses, the way you have dwelt with characters. So what do you have to say about that? The way things have been for you, you have played such roles where people still look into, your films, done in the past, and they just want to watch those roles, such strong roles, such strong characters. So what do you have to say about your journey overall?
As much as I can't take all the credit in the sense not that I'm trying to be humble, but because I didn't plan. It wasn't like any strategy or anything. But I feel kahin na kahin wo destiny hai that either I gravitated or those parts gravitated towards me that people still remember. I'm very aware that I've done very little work as compared to a lot of people, a lot of actors. But the fact that kahin na kahin the audiences haven't forgotten me, considering how short the memory is, even the industry for that matter. I think I've been very fortunate कि ऐसे roles मेरे पास आए हैं, and I have been able to play them a certain way. So I feel very thankful that the audiences have remembered those parts, whether it is Geeta Rao, which was like 20 years back, my God, that's a long time. And people still remember. I think for an actor, that's the biggest compliment, to have those 2 or 3 films that people can remember you by, and that's great.
Which has been your personal favorite, which is very close to your heart? If you had to...
Hazaro will be very, very close to my heart, always. Like, wo kya hota hai na ki aap ek film karke fir dusri film, you become a smarter actor. You try to be, thoda bahut aa jata hai wo ki aap aise kar lete hain. But the first film, I think for any actor, the first film is so innocent. Every emotion is real. Every moment is real for you. So और शायद इसीलिए a lot of people choose their first film as their favorite, because it's very difficult to repeat that that experience. You can never go back to being not pregnant. So once you're pregnant, you cannot be not pregnant. So it's like that kind of a thing. Once you've gone through your first film, you can never get that innocence back. It's you've done your first film. So for me, yes, I think it will always be Hazaro.
Chitrangda, you also took a break of 7 years, in your initial years of your career for your marriage. Did you somewhere feel, that, you lost those 7 years, or, because it's a very strict, it's a very strong decision coming from your end, or do you somewhere feel that, this is what you wanted to do?
I don't know if I wanted to do that. It's not like I wanted to give up work, but I think at that point of time, emotionally, I just felt like I couldn't live between two cities. I was married to someone who was a professional sportsman, and he was traveling some 40 weeks in a year outside the country. So, I mean, to make things work somewhere, there had to be that adjustment that needed to be done. So yeah, I think at that point of time that I did what I thought would make me the happiest. And I did that. And having, of course, kabhi na kabhi aapko lagta hai ki yaar, wo 7 years, I've lost out on, and there were some good parts that were offered. I missed out on something which I got told much later I did an ad with Shah Rukh. And he told me that for Chalte Chalte, they were looking for me in those days. And I had changed my number back then. And he's like, we tried. And I think they tried to get Juhi's brother to look for me because he knew people in Delhi or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, don't say this to me. Don't tell me this right now. I don't want to hear this. So yeah, but there are always those, like Latika, what ifs. But having looked back, I think, I have a beautiful son. There's nothing that I would want to change today sitting here. I don't think I regret anything. Yeah.
Also, Chitrangda, when it comes to your work, which one has been your kid's favorite one? When he had to
he hasn't seen my work. He's not that old. He hasn't seen much of my work. He loved Modern Love. Just yesterday I got like 4 claps and he's like, wow, what acting. So those were those 2 messages I got from him, which I think is a big deal because that generation is watching something completely different. But yeah, he enjoyed this. He did.
How much of your time are you spending now on OTT platforms? How much do you love binge watching, all these shows and all? Because there are so many varieties of them.
The best part about the OTT platform is that it surprises you. The kind of work that's being done there, and that is what you're looking for. Agar formula dekhna hai, predictable stuff dekhna hai, of course there is certain kind of cinema that, theaters still, theater releases are catering to that kind of cinema. But if you want to be surprised, you want to be, kind of moved or, moved by the kind of writing, or shocked, it's OTT. Yeah, it's completely. So I binge watch so much. My God, I just finished Anatomy of a Scandal.
Yeah, that's very
I've just seen so many. I started watching Breaking Bad again because first I was watching it for the film, for the story. Now I watch like how the screenplay moved and what happened, and it's just too much good work there. Yeah.
What is your idea of modern love?
Modern love, scary. It is scary, Samina. I don't know. I feel it's become a lot more about convenience. More than love, it's very practical. Love used to be silly. So what I miss is that there's no more silly in love. It's being very wise and practical. So for me, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know, if you find somebody who makes you feel less busy in your head, you stop thinking, you are in the moment with the person. You feel like home. I don't know, something like that should be love, I suppose. Yeah.
Do you still believe in that old school kind of romance, the old school kind of love?
Yes. I think everybody would. I love it. That's the whole idea, that it takes time, right? It takes effort. It takes patience. That is old time love. And that's always beautiful, in a relationship, always.
What are your upcoming projects you're working on, Chitrangda?
We've just packed up finished a film now called Gaslight, with Sarah Ali Khan and Vikrant. Pavan Kriplani is the director. It should release by the end of this year. There's a web series that I'm supposed to start. We still don't have a start date yet, but second half of the year, which is very exciting. That'll be my first web series. It's a great director to work with. So that's what I have for this year.
And
now.
What's your experience of working with Sarah Ali Khan and Vikrant Massey for that matter? Because, both are quite different in terms of their acting. One is very bubbly as a character. The other one is quite into serious roles also. So how was your experience of working with them?
Lovely people to start with. I think when you're on a set for so many days, like 40 days, we did outdoors, it's just very important to be great people to work with. And Sarah is just such a wonderful girl. She's just she's just so much fun. She's crazy. And Vikrant, as we all know how talented he is. So I had a ball. It was just the best thing you could possibly ask for on an outdoor, such a long outdoor. So it was lovely.
Did she entertain you basically, Sarah, with her rhymes, with her pranks, with her jokes and all?
That's constant. No, that's Sarah. Otherwise, it won't be her. That is constant. She's such a different. I mean, such a delight to see someone who's so different than what you predictably expect. I don't know how to say industry. I suppose she's very, and I suppose that comes from the fact that she has lived abroad or whatever, studied outside this. Spent so much time outside the circle. So she's a very wise person at the same time, which is so refreshing to see. Yeah.
Even your recent post on rude air hostess, went quite viral on social media. If you had to say something on that, what exactly happened?
I did feel it's not something that happened with me. It happened to the passenger sitting next to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a treatment that they were giving him that bothered me. Mm-hmm. And he was a very, very docile man, extremely nice, very, how do I say, slightly, cowed down by the way they were behaving with him. Mm-hmm. And I didn't like that, I spoke up for him. Not that I'm trying to say I'm whatever great, but it actually was, it's not like, oh, they treated me like that. It wasn't about that at all. And, so you just have to point things out when they go beyond this. And if I can't tweet about it, and if I can get some authorities to see what the staff is doing, it's probably a good thing. I'm not saying the entire airline is like that. Maybe those three, I don't know, maybe just need another reboot of a course. God knows. But it's not right. It's not right. Just sometimes, it's sometimes okay to speak out. But the only problem is sometimes it just becomes like, oh, you're just trying to make news. And then you think like, it's not that. It's not always that. So I felt, and I'm glad that they called, and they called me up. The airline called me up and they said that we have made a call to that gentleman. We apologized. We've asked him exactly what happened, which is good. That just felt good. Yeah.
But also, as we talk about your work also, for that matter, and you being a producer, you're all set to produce one more film, which is going to be a biopic. So if you could reveal some details about that.
It's just been very unfortunate. Just before the lockdown, there was a lot of conversations that we had, very advanced conversations on that, and then it just somehow fell through. So it's at the moment kind of paused, but there is a biopic that I have the rights for. Again, an astonishingly good story, like it's mind blowing, that story. So I'm hoping that kind of finds its legs and comes back on track. That would be great. Yeah.
And recently you also said you would be lying that if you say that you're not frustrated. What makes you frustrated? Last two questions for you.
Yeah. What did I say?
You recently said that you would be lying if you say that you're not frustrated. So what makes you frustrated?
Yeah, I know. Kahin na kahin kuch tha aisa na ki unhone they said that. I mean, they said that don't you get frustrated? Sometimes we don't get good work, or or if what? Something like that. Yeah, something like that. And I said, listen, I'd be lying if I don't. I mean, every is human to get frustrated. I mean, that's the vein in which I'd said it. And they were like, oh, I'm frustrated. Oh my God, no. It's not like I'm frustrated, like that's not my status right now, not at all. Frustrated, I mean, see, that's a very strong word, but kabhi-kabhi aisa ho jata hai ki you feel like, damn, like where is the good work,
Yeah.
and you're dying to do some good work or with a good set of people. So yeah, I mean, I think every actor would go through that moment. So, but it doesn't reach the point of frustration. I think I've been through enough in life to know what is worth getting frustrated. That's probably a good thing about having your lows and your highs, emotionally. So yeah, I don't think I'm reaching that point. No.
And lastly, if you had to share one memory from your career life, which has been very close to your heart, which would that be? One memory.
I think working with Irfan, I probably would have said my first film, but I mean, at this point, I would probably say, sorry, I'm just getting a message. I would say working with Irfan, because when I look back and now that he's not with us anymore, I mean, I remember that day when we heard this news, I really did feel, my God, that is so much of a talent gone, so much talent. So I feel working with him, I learned so much just sitting on sets. I used to be on set, matlab jab mera scene bhi nahi tha, I would just sit by the monitor just to see what he's doing with every scene, if I was working that day. क्योंकि लिखा कुछ, because I had read the script, लिखा कुछ होता था, and what he could make of it would be completely different. I mean, if you want to do unpredictable, you have to see Irfan's work. He's so for me, I suppose, yeah, that would be something I kind of, it's kind of special. Yes.
Thank you so much, Chitrangda, for your time. And it was lovely interacting with you. And thank you for the model love experience. And I'm wishing you all the
What did you think of it, by the way? What did you think of it?
I'm yet to watch it, honestly. But did you watch the first series? The
first, yes. Second, मैंने नहीं देखी. First, I'd watched. Yes.
International version, have you seen that, the Anne Hathaway one?
Yeah.
Liked
I mean, I haven't seen this. Oh,
it's quite good.
It's so good. It's so good. I mean, that's what makes you feel like, oh God, what are you kind of putting yourself up against? It's very good.
So
I loved it.
I'm going to definitely watch this one because
Please watch because I think it's fun.
Thank you so much for your lovely time and all the very best. Thank you.
Thanks, Amina. Bye-bye.
Bye.